Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, look at this crowd. Our country is going to start winning again really, really soon. Really soon. We're not winning anymore, folks. We're going to have to start winning. You know, I love you too. I love you too. I love you. You know, we had a lot of big news today. We had a lot of polls. I love those polls. Those guys back there, look at all those cameras going crazy. They tried their best to marginalize. Every night I say it. They never, ever show the crowd. That's why we built this big monster thing behind us, right? They're going to have a hard time hiding that. Do you agree? And I hate to say it, I know you people think you have the best seats, but they're going to become famous. Now, we have something very special all over, no matter where we go. We're getting massive crowds. We had in Dallas at the Mavericks Arena, we had 20,000, Oklahoma, 20,000 people. Mobile, Alabama, we had 35,000 people. We have by far the biggest crowds. Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, we have crowds. Nobody has crowds like we have crowds. And I will tell you, no, it's amazing. I will tell you, it is a movement. It's beyond anything. I got a call the other day from one of the biggest reporters, really a good reporter, but big and legit. And he said, Mr. Trump, how does it feel? I said, how does what feel? He said, what you've done, nobody has ever done it in politics, in the history of politics, what we've created with this movement. I said, I haven't done anything, because unless we win, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It's really true. Doesn't mean anything. It won't mean anything unless we win. It's all nice. We go out, we have a lot of fun, and people say, great, they did a good job. What difference does it make? We have to win, and we're going to talk about winning in a second, but I have to do this because I haven't done this yet. I brought my family, okay? I brought my family. And I have a great family, and this is a part of my family, but a very important part of my family. I love my family. I love my family. And I think what I'll do, you know, oh, my wife is going to get so upset. How did she do on Barbara Walters' special? Good, right? Melania. And how did Ivanka do? Great, right? So we have them all. And I thought what I'd do, Tiffany, stand up, honey. Stand up. Tiffany Trump. And newlyweds, sort of, although now they have 3 kids. They've been, how long are you married now? Ivanka and Jared, how long? Can you believe 6 years? Can you believe it? Feels like yesterday. Come on up, come on, come on. Come on up, kids. Come on up here, come on. And Barron Trump, you know Barron? And Melania, come on up, Melania, come on. Come on up. Come on up, honey. Now, this is what we call a crowd. They are so lucky that they don't have to do this every night, right? Are they lucky? And Melania's parents are here, and they're terrific people, and they've been so supportive, and we just appreciate it. Thank you. Amelia, Victor, thank you. Where's Jared? Jared, get up here. Come on up here. Jared, get up here. Jared's a very successful developer, and he just loves politics now. Come on up here, Jared. Look at him. See the way he dresses? Well, I just want to thank my family, and I have other members of my family that aren't here, but they have been so supportive. It's incredible, and I just want to thank you. And Melania, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Barron for all of your support. Would you like to say hello? Come on, say hello.
Good evening. Isn't he the best? He will be the best president ever. We love you.
Thank you all very much. Okay, get back to your seat. We have some work to do, folks, right? Thank you. Thank you, Tiff. Thanks, Ivanka. Thank you, honey. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Good to have family. You know, I will say this. I know the richest people. I know all my friends and enemies. Some I don't like. Some are terrible human beings, honestly. But the happiest people are the people that have great families. I know them all. I know the good family people. I know the rich people. What you really want to do, if you can be rich and also have a great family, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But I will say this, that honestly, the happiest people, the people that are really are the people that have great husbands, wives, children. That's really the people that are happiest. So whatever good that does anybody, I don't know, but it happens to be a fact. So a couple of things. I love Myrtle Beach. I've been here many times, all right? And we've got to get I-85 built. It's time. It's time. It's time. It'll bring a lot of business. I know a lot about the business world. And you have terrific courses and terrific places, and it's developing, but you need I-85. Every time I'm down here, they say, Mr. Trump, could you give a plug for I-85? So am I saying the right thing when I say that? I think so, right? So I guarantee you this, when I get in there, it's going to get started really quickly. It's going to go. It's going to go. It's terrible. So what's happened, and it has been incredible. Today I was notified, the Gravis poll, great poll, one of the most important great polls, and the number for Trump is 37. Second place is 15. And then you have a 14 and a 12. Should I tell you who are those positions? It doesn't matter. They're so far behind, what difference does it make? One of the best polls today came out. That's the Fox poll. And in the Fox poll, head to head, I'm beating Hillary by a lot. Do we like that? I like that, right? Because, you know, getting the nomination's great. We got to beat her. She's going to be so bad if she gets in. She will be a disaster. She will be so bad. People don't realize. First of all, she's being protected. She shouldn't be allowed to run. No, she shouldn't be. She shouldn't be allowed to run. You know, in a certain way, I want her to run because she really is so beatable, and we're going to beat her. We're going to beat her badly. But she shouldn't be allowed. She's being totally protected. What's happening is a disgrace. People are now in jail. And you look at General Petraeus, his life was ruined for doing 5% of what she did. So it's a disgraceful situation. Now, So in Gravis, we have 37. In Ohio, poll came out. You know, we hear about this guy Kasich. Oh, we're killing him. We're beating the governor of Ohio in his own state, which is great. Which is great. And I think it's going to stay that way. Ohio is great. You know, we just got back from Ohio. We had 14,000 people. It was unbelievable. You probably watched last night on television. These guys cover live television. Every night I go, it's live. I think I'm going to catch Regis. You know, do we love Regis? You know, Regis has the all-time record for live. I think if we keep going like this, we'll catch Regis. In Iowa, we're #1 in Iowa, just came out, Quinnipiac poll. And one of the things that's really exciting is they go into categories. When you have the economy, pretty big subject, right? Who's going to be best at the economy? It's Trump, Trump, Trump. So at the economy, it's Trump 49%, Cruz 11. He's in second place. That's big. When it comes to terrorism, a pretty big subject nowadays, right? Trump is way, way, way in first place. I love it. And when it comes to immigration, and you know, build a wall. We're going to build a wall. We're going to build a wall. We're building a wall. Mexico's paying for the wall. They're paying for the wall. We're going to build it. You know, we have a trade imbalance with Mexico, $45 billion a year. Building the wall is peanuts. It's peanuts. Now, the politicians, you know, they're all talk, they're no action. Building the wall, some of them said the other day, you had like 7 of them. Oh, you can't build a wall. Mexico will never pay. They're making a fortune off us. If you have the right messenger, which will be me, they will pay for that wall and they'll say, thank you very much. And it's going to get built. And by the way, it's going to be a real wall, a very tall wall, taller than that ceiling. It's going to be a real wall that if somebody gets up to the top, they're not going to want to get down. Believe me, it's going to be a long way. It's going to be a real wall. And I always say this when I talk about the wall. We're going to have a big, fat, beautiful door right smack in the middle of the wall, meaning we're going to have doors. And we're going to have people come in to our country, but they're going to come in legally through a process. They're going to come in legally. So immigration, we're at 45 on immigration, 45 to 20. That's immigration. So people have a lot of confidence in us. I mean, if you think about economy, if you think about terrorism, and if you think about immigration, and we're double, triple, quadruple everybody else, the election's over. I mean, how important? Those are the important things. I'm also in other polls way, way, way higher in, like, by many times in a thing called leadership. The one thing, they don't know if I'm a nice person. I am a nice person. But you know what? I am a nice person. Melania, am I a nice person? My wife says yes. So, I am a nice person, but you know what? I don't think it even matters. This is going to be an election that's based on competence. We're tired of nice people, not nice people. We're tired. You know what we're really tired of? Stupid people. Stupid people. That's what we're really tired of. Stupid people. So just to finish off, in New Hampshire, they have been so nice to me in New Hampshire. We're killing everybody. We're at 32. Next is 18. We're just doing great. In South Carolina, even better than that. We're at 35, and the other ones, I don't know, they're in the teens. So they've been so great. They've been so great. And Florida, we're winning in Florida. Can you believe it? I got a governor, I have a senator, and we're killing them. We're killing them. It was amazing. In Florida, I guess I'm around 32, and Rubio went past Bush. I mean, not really hard to do, right? But you have one as a senator sitting who doesn't show up for votes. I don't know how, if I were in Florida, I would never vote for Rubio. He gets his job, he never shows up. He's absent all the time, he doesn't go to the Senate. You elect a person, he's supposed to be in there voting for you. He misses votes on the most important subject, like Homeland Security. Last week, he was raising money in California, and he has a very important meeting on Homeland Security. And then today, I see a billionaire, but not nearly as rich as me, but that's okay. But no, a billionaire named Vandersloot, I don't know who the hell it is, but he's supposed to be a rich guy, and he announced he's backing Rubio, and he was on one of the shows, and he's explaining, oh, no, let me tell you, I want to know what deal did he make, okay? What deal did he make? Politicians are all controlled, 100% controlled by special interest donors. You know that. All controlled by the special interest, the donors, and whoever else wants to give them a lot of money. And I will tell you, they're 100% controlled. And the big one is the lobbyists. And who knows the game better than me? Does anybody know the game better than me? Oh, I know it so well. And it's a game that's not a very pretty game. And so, I'm the only one I'm self-funding my campaign. I'm self-funding. Everyone else has a PAC, and PACs are bad. They're bad. And the candidates are totally controlled by the PAC. And whoever gives the most money has the most power. And if you think people are giving $5 million and $2 million and $1 million to these PACs because they like the way somebody looks, believe me, that's not the case, okay? And they will be representing companies that are outside of the United States. And those companies will have priority over you and your jobs and everything else. Me, I'm working for you 100%, okay? 100%. 100%. My man. And I don't get up here with teleprompters like our president. Where's my teleprompter? He goes, where is it? I'll come back in 5 minutes. Where's his teleprompter? I don't come up with, it would be so easy. It would be so easy. I'd walk up and I'd say, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it always bothered me, too, because whenever I see these guys making speeches with teleprompters, you really can't see through the teleprompter. You know, they're glass. In fact, Hillary Clinton had one the other day. She was outside, and I guess you need a different kind of a teleprompter. But she was outside, and she had these big, huge pieces of glass, and they were painted black because probably you can't see with the sun. You know, I'm really good at this. So building and stuff, I'm really good at. So probably the sun's a problem. So they had these two massive pieces of glass, and she's reading off this. And I'm just thinking, what about the people in the audience? They can't even see her. The piece, they were bigger than her. They were bigger than her. And by the way, Hillary Clinton does not have the strength or the stamina. She doesn't have the strength or the stamina to be president. She doesn't. Doesn't have it. She does not have it. So just to finish off on this, and I'm throwing this sucker away because we have to talk about something. But, you know, so many supporters. Look at this place. It's packed. Look, the people are still coming in. Holy. This was supposed to be an easy night for me. I was flying down to Florida to meet some people, great people, and I was going to stop here. We were going to have like 500 to 1,000 people, right? So then they told me, I said, Corey, tell me, what do you have tonight? Well, it's about 2,000. Oh, 2,000. Well, that's a lot more. Okay. Then they said, sir, it's about 5,000. Then they said, sir, we have about 8,000. Now they have 11,000. This was supposed to be an easy night. Supposed to be an easy night. And you know, sort of funny because the other candidates, take any one of them, they come down, they have like 43 people. In New Hampshire, not so long ago, I had one where we had 4,500 people, and Bush was right down the road, and he had 129. Here's the good thing. They all fell asleep, and they got a good night's rest, okay? My people didn't. One of the things that, it's too bad. Look at all those people standing in the back. It's too bad. You got to get here earlier. Look at them. Look at those people. That's great. It's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. But, you know, one of the things that came out so strongly in the polls is that Trump's, thank you, I love you too, man, although I don't know, some big guy's calling me, to hell with him. He's a big guy. He's a big, hairy guy. I don't know if I love him. I do love you. I love your soul. But one of the things that came out stronger than anything is that my supporters are, and they will tell you, and you know, I have to be very careful when I speak with all those cameras, because they will believe me if I'm off a little bit. That's why if I'm not 100% sure, I'll say around. It's around this or. But they'll tell you, by far, the most loyal supporters. In fact, they say that Trump can do almost anything, and nobody leaves me. And it is true, you know. A couple of things they said, oh, this is the end. This is the end, what he just said. And I liked what I said, right? But they say all the time, these dopes like Karl Rove, he's a dope. He still thinks Romney won the election. I think Romney won. I think Romney won. I'm telling you, he won. Remember that evening on Fox when he went around, he couldn't believe, he just couldn't believe it? And it wasn't even a close election. Romney let us down, folks. He let us down, okay? You know, say what you want. He's probably a nice guy. Who cares? I supported him. I supported McCain. McCain had a problem because I don't know if Abraham Lincoln could have won that race because they had a little problem with the economy toward the end, right? A little tough. Supported him. Then I supported Romney. And Romney disappeared. I don't know what happened. The last month and a half, he did terrible in the debates, the last two debates. And then all of a sudden, he went in, and I think he applied for a permit for like a 9-car garage or 11. You don't do that just before you're going to get a vote. People don't want to hear about a 9-car garage. Do you believe this guy? Look at that. What the hell? Come here a minute. Look at this guy. Come here. Look at this guy. Come here. Come here. I never saw anything so terrible. Come here. Get up here. Get up. Just let him up. You can come up. Let him up. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe this. Come on up. I don't know who this. Honestly, I don't know who this guy is. Get him. You got to get him up here. Come on, Mark. Can you get him up? Let's go. Come on, Keith. Get with it. Get with it, Keith. Let's go. Get him up. You got to see this. Oh, this poor guy. How would you like to be married to this guy? Wait till you see this. This is beautiful. He's a real beauty. So Romney, he's going to come. Security's so good he can't get through the gates. I'm impressed. So Romney let us down. So we went with McCain, didn't work. We went with Romney, didn't work. And I just said, all right, that's enough of that. This time we're going to do it ourselves, folks. We're going to do it. Because I called the Romney campaign, and I said, oh, no. Come here. I'll tell you what, this is what I call a real supporter. Wow. Thank you, man. Are you married? Are you happy with your husband? She said yes. She fantasizes that he's really the real Donald Trump. Could you believe it? Okay. Thank you, man. That's so much fun. Thank you. Really nice. That's really nice. That's cute. Now I'm sitting here, I'm looking at all these thousands and thousands of people, and I see this big, beautiful head of hair. Boy, is that a fake head of hair. And it is real. We know that. We know. It's real. Okay. So we have to get very, very tough, and we have to get very, very smart, and we have to do it rapidly. We have to do it quickly. We don't have a lot of time left. I am convinced, however, that our country can be bigger and better and stronger and more productive than ever, ever, ever before. I'm convinced. But here's the problem. So the Wall Street Journal this morning, who's starting to treat me nicely. Can you believe they're really starting to treat me nicely, which I respect, because I respect the Wall Street Journal. If they write poorly about me, I'll disrespect them very quickly. But now I respect. In fact, they had a beautiful editorial today, and they had a beautiful, big, full-page editorial 2 days ago, the full page. I love it. Okay. But I look at the Wall Street Journal, I pick it up, look at that picture. Okay, I'm going to explain what that picture is. Got a lot of people. Look at that. Look at that picture. That picture, it's a picture of Putin and the leader of Iran getting together, and they're now forming a major partnership, a major coalition, and they were both forced into it because our president has no clue. So now we just gave Iran $150 billion. We made one of the worst transactions I've ever seen in my life. Forget about deals with countries. This is the most incompetent negotiation I have ever seen in my life. We get nothing. We get nothing. All we do is get nuclear weapons within 10 years and probably a lot sooner than that. We get nothing. And they get $150 billion. They get 24-day periods. They even, in many cases, can self-police. Can you imagine? We think you're building nuclear weapons. Well, we'll call you and tell you, oh, we're okay. This was done by grossly incompetent people. This was done by people that have no idea what they're doing. And we don't even get our prisoners back. We give them $150 billion. We don't even get our prisoners back. We get nothing. We get nothing. So we've now made a terrorist state, Iran. Look at him. He's sitting there. And Putin looks like he's nervous being with the other guy. You believe it? Because they're now a wealthy terror state. And we could have made a great deal. We should have said, we want our prisoners back. First meeting, 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I mean, one of them's there because he's a Christian. He's a pastor. He's a Christian. We should have said, we want our prisoners back, fellas. Go ahead. Doesn't mean anything to you. Our people want them back. It'll set a nice tone, because I like negotiation. I like taking something and making it. And we do have to be careful with nuclear. Nuclear is a very bad word. It's a very bad word. And I want to get Obama out because he doesn't have a clue. He thinks he doesn't have a clue. He doesn't have a clue. He thinks, and this is true, he thinks that global warming is our biggest problem. Can you believe this? Global warming. You know, I'll tell you what our biggest problem is, and I hate to even say it. Our biggest problem is nuclear warming. That's our biggest problem. And unless we're smart, and I mean smart and tough and cunning, there are going to be problems like you've never seen. You think Paris was bad? You think that's bad? You think that's bad? We better get smart. So I like the idea of an agreement, but I want an agreement that we win. Now, they should have said, you got to give us our prisoners. And they would have said no. Guarantee. They would have said no. That's what I do. I do this all the time. It's so easy. It's so easy. And then what you do, bye-bye, we're going, and you get up, you leave. Now you double and triple up the sanctions. Within 48 hours, they call back, okay, we'll give you your prisoners. That's one thing. Then you tell them, after you have the prisoners, that you're not getting the $150 billion. No, you tell them. It's too much money. It's too much money. It's what I do. And, you know, a couple of these guys up on the stage the other day, they said, well, you have to give them the money. You have to. Just like they say the wall, well, Mexico's not going to pay. Why would they do that? They do that because we lose a fortune with them. A fortune. So, I mean, Thank you. Boy, that's delayed action over there. Are you guys from Mexico? That little section over there, they liked it. I think they're wall builders. They build walls. Do you build walls? So, the Iran deal is a catastrophe. We're going to make that so good. That's what I do. I take bad contracts and I make them good. Jared can tell you, I buy people's contracts where they're bad. I love it when a guy makes a bad contract. I do it. Sometimes I throw it into a bankruptcy. Sometimes I restructure it. I do numbers that are so unbelievable. A friend of mine had a company. And the company, he's a nice guy. A big company, good company, everything good, but he doesn't understand banks. And he borrowed way, way, way too much. And he came to me, he needed help. He said, would you call the bank? And I said, yeah, I'll call the bank. I called the bank wasn't behaving. They weren't nice. And these aren't nice people, by the way. Don't worry about, this thing, oh, that's a terrible thing. These are vicious, horrible, horrendous people, just so you understand. They didn't want to give him anything. They wanted to destroy him. They wanted his wife, his dog, his house. They wanted everything he ever had. Everything. They wanted everything. So I said, you know what? They're not going to do anything. They're not going to, thank you. They're not going to do anything. I said, here's what I'll do. I'll buy the contract. I bought the contract. I called the bank. Oh, did I do a number on these people? They hate to see me. I did a number. I threw it into a chapter. I negotiated. I did. And then I get credit. And by the way, so many people do that. And a lot of people don't know how to do it. But it worked out great. We will take that horrible deal and we will make it so good. But the problem is, no matter what happens, the money is going to be gone. That's the one thing. That's the one problem. I wish we could move this election up. In a lot of countries, you're allowed to pick your date for the election. I want to pick my date for the election. I want it like next Tuesday. I want it on Tuesday. So, we've been talking so much about border security, and I've been talking about trade. And trade is easy. Trade is, just believe me, Carl Icahn, one of the great businessmen, he endorsed me. He wants to do, I'll put him in charge of China. By the way, China, over $400 billion a year trade imbalance with us. They charge us tax, we don't charge them tax. Nobody knows that. I believe in free trade, but it has to be smart and it has to be fair. We're getting ripped. They're taking our jobs. They're taking our people. They're taking our base. They're taking our money. They're taking everything. They have taken so much out of our country. I call it the single greatest theft in the history of the world, what China's done to the United States. The single greatest theft. And it's not going to go on, folks. We can't continue to lose $450 billion. We can't continue to lose with Japan, with the cars. They roll off the biggest ships you've ever seen. The cars roll off. We lose $70 billion in trade imbalance. We have a thing called corporate inversion. You know what that is? Companies are leaving the United States. You used to leave New York for Florida because you'd save on tax. Now people are leaving and companies are leaving the United States to go to Europe and go to Asia and go to other places. They have tremendous money over there. They can't get it back into the country because the politicians can't figure out a way. And they all agree it should happen. The Republicans and the Democrats. They can't figure out a way. Corporate inversion. Remember it. Remember the term. It's a disaster. Pfizer, big company, a pharma, big company. They announced they're leaving the United States. They're moving to Ireland. Very close to a nice property I own, so I'm not sure I'm too unhappy about that. But Pfizer is leaving. Other companies are leaving. Many companies are planning to leave. It's the thing that drives Carl Icahn wild because there's no reason for this. And we've got to stop it. Don't forget, when they leave, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of jobs. And you're also talking about tremendous taxes that you lose. And you're losing great companies. We're losing our greatest companies. And you're going to have more and more. We have to get somebody that knows what they're doing fast. Under my tax plan, they'll never leave. We have the highest taxed nation anywhere in the world. We're number one. We're number one. Highest taxes in the world. My plan, I'm cutting middle income, I'm cutting taxes. We're going to do a job for the middle class people. We have a problem in this country. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. And we're knocking the taxes of corporations and small businesses down to 15%. And when they bring their money back in, the tax is not going to be so high that they can't do it because it makes no economic sense. We are going to have a dynamic, an unbelievably dynamic economy. It's going to be an amazing, beautiful thing to watch. And we're going to bring our jobs back from China, and we're going to bring our jobs back from Japan, and from Vietnam, and from Brazil, and from all of these countries that are ripping us. They're ripping us. And Ford is building a massive plant, auto plant. They make cars, trucks, and parts in Mexico. And the great state of Tennessee, I love Tennessee. We have the biggest crowds in Tennessee. They had a deal to build with a big foreign car manufacturer, a plant. They're all set to get it signed, and boom, they announced they're not going to do it. They're going to Mexico. So how does that help us? Think of it. They build the cars, they hire people that aren't from the United States, plants closing all over Michigan and other places. How does it help us? They hire other people, they sell the cars in the United States and elsewhere, no tax, no nothing. How does it help? And I will tell you, it's not going to happen with me. Not going to happen with me. Nabisco is leaving Chicago. They're building their biggest plant in Mexico, Oreos. And you've heard me say it, I'm not eating Oreos anymore. I don't like Oreos anymore. It's the best thing that ever happened to me if I don't eat Oreos, right? I'm not eating them anymore. But they're not going to get away with it. You're not going to be able to take our jobs, take our money, take everything, and then bring cars in, no tax. Oh, come on. And you know, the border is a sieve right now. We have great border patrol, but it's a sieve. They're told to stand down. I went to Laredo, Texas, a few months ago. It was unbelievable. I met with the Border Patrol. They're amazing people, men and women. They want to do their job. They can't do their job. They're told to stand down. They're standing there. They look beautiful. They have the weapons. They have everything. Stand down. Don't do anything. People walk right in front. They say, Mr. Trump, we want to do our job. They're great Americans. They're great people. They want to do their job. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to. Obama signs an executive order. People, come on in, folks, come on in. It's like the anchor babies, which I was right about, right? I was right about. A woman's pregnant. She comes from another country. They come into the United States. She has the baby. Now we have a citizen of the United States. Congratulations. We take care of the citizen for 85 years or whatever it is. No good. It's no good. It's no good. And you know what? If you did that with Mexico, I have a great relationship with Mexico. I have a great relationship with the Mexican people. I love them. They're great people. The Hispanics are great people. I'm going to win the Hispanic vote, okay? I'm going to win the Hispanic vote. Because I create jobs. I've created tens of thousands of jobs. I'm going to win the Hispanic vote. In Nevada, they just came out with a poll. I'm killing in Nevada, but I'm also winning big with the Hispanics. Because they know that I'm going to bring jobs back. That's what they want. And they don't want the illegals. The people that are here legally don't want the illegals coming in and taking their jobs. It's sort of sensible. It's happening. It's happening. I hear it all the time. A radio announcer in New York said, man, I'll tell you, everybody loves Trump, and it's an all-Hispanic station. He was on 2 weeks ago. He said, everybody loves Trump. It's incredible. He didn't even understand it, but I understand it. They're here. They don't want their jobs taken. So we're going to make great deals. We're going to have better relationships with countries than we have right now. Because believe it or not, I'm a unifier. You know, Barack Obama is a divider. Everybody thought he'd be a cheerleader for the country. He's the opposite. Did you ever see the country so divided? Seriously. Did you ever see it? I'm going to bring back unity. We're going to be friends. We're going to get along. Look at our inner cities. The problems between black and white and everybody. It's just a disaster. You look at Baltimore. You look at all of these different places. You look at parts of Chicago, parts of LA. It's incredible. It's incredible. He's a terrible, terrible cheerleader. People thought he'd be a good cheerleader. I thought he might be a good cheerleader. I didn't see him doing a lot of other good things because I don't have confidence in him. I've seen too much negative. But I thought he'd be a good cheerleader. He's a terrible cheerleader. I call him the Great Divider. Have you ever seen it? We've never been like this before. I am going to be a unifier. I am going to be so great for jobs. I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. That I tell you. It's true. True. But with all of that, my whole little situations when I meet with people has changed in the last week. Because, trust me, I'm going to be great on trade. Trade is easy for me. I know how we're being ripped off. The people on stage with me and Hillary, they don't have a clue about how to stop. They think we're doing good. They said, well, China's our partner. I don't like partners that make $450 billion. And this has been going on for years. So just trust me, trade is so easy. That's my wheelhouse. Just take a look at that's my wheelhouse. Believe me. Let's put it this way. Who would you rather have negotiate against China? Hillary or Trump? Hillary? Trump. Trump! I mean, you know, it started where I really went after Jeb. Because Jeb was supposed to be, you know, comes from a family, a big deal. He comes, and he was supposed to be like the guy to beat. So I did a big number on him, and he went down. Now, maybe he'll come back. You never know. What are the chances that Jeb Bush comes back? I don't think good. Don't worry. If he does, I'll just skip. But now we have to leave him alone. In fact, I said I don't want to talk about candidates, so I promise I'm not going to do that, okay? I'll mention a couple of things, but I don't want to talk about them. So Jeb, you know, I said low energy, and that seems to have stuck. That was like, that was a disaster. They're not happy. That family is not happy with me. So I said Carson, and actually Carson's a nice guy. I hit him so hard 2 weeks ago. My wife said that was too nasty. That was too nasty. Remember with the belt of this, and I said, doesn't happen that way. My wife said, that's too nasty. So I'm going to say tonight, I like Carson. He's a nice man, okay? Nice guy. He's not going to be able to take us to the promised land, and China's dying to negotiate with him. But he's a good guy. He is a good guy. Rubio. So he's weak on immigration, really weak. Remember the Gang of Eight? The Gang of Eight? What are the Gang of Eight? Then his poll went down like this, and all of a sudden, the Gang of Eight? I'd never heard of that. He's a member of the Gang of Eight. He wants to let people in just as much as Obama wants to let people in. And he's doing this for reasons. And I told you before, somebody joined his campaign today. A rich guy is going to put a lot of money into the campaign. I'm trying to figure out what was the deal, because I don't get it. I don't get him. And I think he's probably nice. I don't know. I mean, you know, I stand next to him in the stand, and I said, Marco, how are you? And he goes, good. And we have a very nice relationship. But he's weak, very weak on immigration, and totally pro-amnesty. He wants to give amnesty to people that broke the law. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't do it. We got 11. You know, it's funny. We've been hearing about 11 million now for so long, right? For so long. We have no idea. It could be 30. It could be 5. We have no idea. We don't even have an idea who these people are, where they're coming from. And believe me, they're not coming from Syria. They're not coming in from Syria. Not if I'm here, because we're sending them back. We're sending them back. We're sending them back. So many bad things are happening. So many bad things are happening. You look at Paris. You know, Paris is not Paris, and I'm not talking about because of what happened last week. They have sections of Paris where the police are afraid to go to those sections. That's how dangerous it is. The police don't want to go there. This is in Paris, like you remember. How about Brussels? How about Brussels? Look at Belgium. Belgium, you think, oh, Belgium, beautiful, beautiful. The whole place is closed down, the whole country. They don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what to do. It's not the same place. We can't let it happen here, folks. We can't let it happen. They're afraid. The police are afraid to do anything. It's become a war zone. And that's right. Radical Islamic terrorists. That's what you have. That's what you have. And Obama refuses to use the word. I don't get it. He refuses to say it. He can't say it. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, and I don't particularly care. We just get him out. Get him out. Get this guy out of there. But why he refuses to use a term, and you can't defeat somebody, frankly, you just can't. You can't defeat somebody unless you're willing to call them by the name. That's the name, whether we like it or not. I know Muslim people, they're phenomenal people, but there's a problem in there. When I said we have to really be vigilant, and we do have to look at the mosques very carefully. The mosques, a lot of things are happening in there, folks. A lot of things. A lot of things. And you know, the liberal media, you have to watch Sean Hannity tonight. Oh, I'm sure that CNN's loving that. You got those CNN cameras rolling like crazy, and I'm telling them to turn on to. But we talked about tonight, you know, I took a little bit of heat. Carson said, yes, he saw it, and then he said, no, his mind wasn't thinking right, and he backed away. I took heat because I said in New Jersey and in Jersey City, I said very strongly and very correctly, I said, there are people over there, and they were dancing in the street, and they were dancing on rooftops. And a lot of people said it, and if you watch that show, you'll understand, because he's got a lot of stuff. I'm not making that up. There are a lot of people. They said actually tailgate parties. So I was taking heat because, you know, the liberal media, they want to guard that. They don't want that out because that's not good for them. I don't know why. You know what I don't understand? I want to make our country great again. For the liberals, for the Democrats, for the Republicans, for conservative Republicans. I want to make our country. Why do people fight us? Why? Why? It's so obvious what's happening. So we have a case, and I could have said, oh, I misspoke. I'm not big on that, am I? I'm not big on apologies. You know what? There's nothing wrong with an apology, but you have to be wrong. I believe in apologizing, but you have to be wrong. So tonight on CNN, I'm watching this total novice reporter, and she's talking about Donald Trump made a statement about this and that. And I gave him an article in the Washington Post. You probably all saw it, okay? Now there's other things coming out. Today I received hundreds of phone calls over the last couple of days since I said it from people saying, Mr. Trump, you're right. You're right. We saw it. We live in New Jersey. We saw it. You're right. So what happens is the Washington Post writes an article. And one of the paragraphs, it says, and by the way, this was right after September 11th. This was September 18th. And right after, sort of an amazing thing, right after a couple of good paragraphs, it's talking about northern New Jersey draws the prober's eye, written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This was 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction. 14 years ago, they did no retraction. And it says, in Jersey City, within hours of two jetliners plowing into the World Trade Center, law enforcement authorities detained and questioned a number of people who were allegedly seen celebrating the attack and holding tailgate-style parties. You know what tailgates are? That's like for football games. A lot of people on rooftops. And also, by the way, on streets, on rooftops, while they watch the devastation on the other side of the river. Now, that's the Washington Post. Folks, they do nothing for me. They hate my guts, okay? They don't get it. They're saying, what happened? What happened? How has this happened? Number one, I built a great company. I made a hell of a lot of money, and I built a great... When I did the filing, nobody could believe it. And I'm not saying that braggadociously. I'm saying it for a different reason. It's the kind of thinking we need now in our country. We have these incompetent dopes. It's the kind of thinking. It's the kind of thinking we need. And people that know me aren't surprised. My wife, Melania, she said, you know that if you run, you're going to win, don't you? She has more confidence than I did. I said, you think so? You really think so? And when we came down on that escalator, I will tell you, it takes courage to run. I will tell you that. I went down into Trump Tower, and I never saw so many kids. This looked like the Academy Awards. And I said to Melania, boy, this is crazy. This is big stuff. And I went like, I took a deep breath, I went down, and I made a speech. And in the speech, I talked about illegal immigration. And nobody knew what a big subject that turned out to be. It turned out to be a massive subject. It turned out to be maybe the preeminent subject. Because terrorism now, and the reason I've gone up, everyone else has gone, I've gone way up, because people view me as the one that I'm going to be the best protector. I'm going to fight like hell for your safety. I'm going to fight like hell for your safety. But I took tremendous abuse from the press, tremendous abuse. And then you had Kate in San Francisco, beautiful Kate. An illegal immigrant walked in and shot her in the back. 5 times came in. 5 times, probably and possibly pushed in, because these are smart countries. They're run by very smart people. They're cunning, they're sharp. They're not like our people that are dopes. They're cunning people. They don't want this guy in Mexico. They don't want people in Chile. They don't want people in anywhere. Why should they put people in jail and spend a fortune taking care of them for 40 years when the United States will do it for them for nothing after they go and they kill people? That's what's happening, folks. Whether you like it or not, that's what's happening. Why should they pay for it when we stupid people, stupid leaders, people that haven't got a clue, people with no common sense, will take them, and when they kill somebody, we have our sanctuary cities where it's practically like you can do whatever you want and nothing's going to happen to you. Nobody even knew the word sanctuary city. Nobody even ever heard of it. And all of a sudden we find out that this guy was released, and he went on a spree, and he killed beautiful Kate. And Jamil Shah, a young man, I became friends with his father, one of the nicest men. His son is was a wonderful quarterback, good student. He was applying to Stanford and other colleges, and everybody wanted him. And he was shot in the face 3 times by an illegal immigrant. And when he went down, he went like this, no more, no more. And they shot his hands off because it was a .45, right? He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. He was told, this illegal guy was told to do it. And then a couple of weeks ago in California, you had a 66-year-old veteran sodomized, raped, and killed. A female, wonderful person with an incredible family. She was raped, sodomized, and killed by an illegal immigrant. And this is 3 people. I don't know if you saw it 2 weeks ago. I brought some of the folks up who lost their sons, lost their daughters, lost their brother, their sister, their mother. I brought them up on stage. They were just killed for no reason. For no reason. Just killed. Walking down the street. I don't like you. Boom. They're dead. That's the end of it. That's the end of a daughter. That's the end of a... You have to see these people. In one case, it was 10 years ago, and the person said, it's gotten worse. You know, you think time heals? The person told me, Mr. Trump, it's worse than it was 10 years ago. It's worse. And we got to stop it. And we got to stop it. People can come in, they're going to come in legally, and we're going to do something that's we're going to be so tough, we're going to be so vigilant, we're going to be so sharp. And we're not letting others in because, you know, we've got to fix our country. Our country's broken. Our country is broken. We owe $19 trillion. Our roads are no good. Our transit is no good. Our airports are third world. We have third world airports. I go to places like Qatar and Dubai and all of these different places. I do deals there. They're great people. I do deals there. You land at airports like you've never seen before. We're like third world. We come in, we leave these airports, the most gorgeous thing. You never saw places like this. The most beautiful places. I was with the head of Qatar Airlines, and I said, what's your average age of plane? It was like, they're all brand new. Everything's new. And he's showing me the airport. I say, this is the most beautiful terminal I've ever seen. This is really, really beautiful. Congratulations. He goes, no, no, Mr. Trump, this is not the terminal. This is just temporary. There is the terminal. And he points, and there's 50 cranes across the way. And they're building the most unbelievable airport you've ever seen. This gets demolished. And it's nicer than any airport we have. We're a third world country. We have to fix our country. We have to fix our country. It's time. It's time. It's time. We have wars going on. We have people that have no common sense. Now, a lot of you have been supporters for a long time. Some of you, hopefully, are going to be supporters now. But, you know, I've been saying, my longtime supporters will tell you, for 3 years I've been saying, take the oil. Take the oil. We shouldn't have been in Iraq. And I said it in 2003, 2004. I said, Reuters, 2004. Don't go in, you're going to destabilize the entire Middle East. That's what happened. And then Obama comes in, and instead of saying, think of it, unpredictable, you got to be unpredictable. We're so predictable. We're so predictable. Obama comes in, and instead of saying, look, we should have never been there because you had the two countries, but instead of just saying, well, we're going to stay or we're not going to, don't tell. He gives a date certain when we're leaving. And I said to myself, wow, I'm a fan of General George Patton. I'm a fan of the great Douglas, right? Right? No. We have George Pattons. You know, our Naval Academy and our Military Academy, West Point, and our Air Force, we have great people that are really tough and really smart, and that's the combination you want. You don't want tough and dumb. You know, plenty of those guys. I've been beating those guys all my life, the dummies that are tough. You want tough and really, really, really smart, brilliant. And we have guys like that. But a lot of times they're not politically correct. You know, we got rid of a great general 2 years ago because he was tough and ornery and he used foul language. Can I tell you? And his soldiers loved him, by the way. They loved him. I mean, Patton probably wouldn't be a corporal today, right? I mean, Patton was brutal. MacArthur was cool. MacArthur was, boom, I can take on the world. And I watched a general recently on television, and they said to him, what do you think about ISIS? Oh, ISIS is very tough. And I'm saying, first of all, why is a general on television? I don't want my generals on television. I don't want generals talking to these guys, okay? You know, I don't want them talking to those people. I don't want my generals talking to that group of people back there, 70 of which, I'll tell you what, 70% of those people are absolute total scum. I will tell you that. It's true. They're total scum. They're dishonest. They're bad people. They're bad people. You know what? I say all the time about the press, I have never seen dishonesty like I have from those guys, the political press. And you know what? Every single night that I go out, I have the biggest crowds by far. Nobody has crowds like me. Every single night that I go out and I make a speech where we have crowds like this and bigger and bigger. This was my night off. I was going to have 2,000 people. It ends up being 10,000 people. I wanted a small crowd. But every single night I go home, I say, how did the crowd look, honey? To my wife. Oh, you didn't see any crowd. They never show the crowd. They never show the crowd. They never. And yet if somebody was a protester, if that handsome guy in the blue jacket started protesting and saying, oh, well, we don't like you, Trump, they would turn those cameras on him so fast. And then the next day, it's true. And the next day, I will tell you this, the headline will be protests at Trump rally. I had it the other night. I had 14,000 people. I had one guy protesting, and that became a story. For nothing. For nothing. And he was an obnoxious, terrible guy that was screaming and horrible. He was a horrible guy. But that became the story. No fair. But I tell these guys every night, fan the audience, and they don't want to do it. And they don't do it. Look at them. They don't do it. They don't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. They won't do it. They're dishonest people. I have to say, 30% are good. I mean, you do have good ones. No, it's disgusting. They don't move the cameras. They keep it right on my kisser. You know, they keep it right on my face. And she tells, is that right? She tells, every night I go, how did the crowd look? I had 14,000 people. Oh, I don't know. And then they have some woman, Sarah Murray, whoever the hell that is. And she's like this. And she's going, this is Sarah Murray, and I'm reporting for CNN. And I'll tell you when she does her report. When everyone's gone, she stands on that. The place is empty. Everyone's gone. There's paper all over the floor. It looks like I won't say the word. Looks like a messy place. I don't want to say it, because they'll say he uses bad language. But it's a mess. Chairs laying down. Everyone's gone. This is Sarah Murphy reporting for CNN. Mr. Trump made a speech tonight. Okay. Now, just about the top guy last night in Columbus, Ohio. 14,000 people. We thought there was going to be 7 or 8. Just about the top guy at CNN was there last night. And he's a nice guy. And he told my people that he has never seen it. He's been in this business for a long time. He has never seen anything like he would. Witnessed last night. Let's see if the coverage changes at CNN. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Frankly, I doubt anything's going to happen. Okay. If the people in Paris had guns, you wouldn't have had the problem that you had. That I can tell you. You wouldn't have had the problem. You wouldn't have had the problem. Paris has among the toughest gun laws in the world. France has among the toughest gun laws in the world. I say it all the time. Law-abiding people won't have guns. These guys walked in with guns. Boom, 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 boom. 130 people, many more to come. You have many, 300 people in the hospital, many of whom are not expected to live. They were sitting ducks. They were sitting ducks. How about us? We have military bases where we lost 5 great soldiers recently. 2 of them were highly decorated. One of them was a superstar, the best with guns. They have, in a military base, a gun-free zone. You believe this? You believe this? That ends with me. First day, that ends. No more gun-free. No more gun-free. No more gun. No more. No more gun-free zones. So this whack job walks in, starts shooting. These poor guys, these are great people. These are powerful, wonderful soldiers. Like some of the police I'm meeting here, they're incredible tonight. These police, they're incredible people. They're incredible people. And they're not allowed to do their job. And they're afraid to talk to anybody. And then you wonder why crime rates are up and murders are up. I mean, you see what's going on. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose their pension. They're afraid to do. And sure, you have bad apples in every business. Any business you're in, you have bad apples. And you have horrible mistakes made. But the police in this country, they're keeping us whole. They're keeping us safe. And they're not getting what we have to give them. They're not getting it. So I tell it all the time. If the people in Paris had some guns, if you gave 10 of them, 10, they have hundreds in the different places. If 10 of them, it would have been a whole different ball game, folks. Would have been a whole different ball game. No guns, no guns. These animals walked in. And the other thing, I like Bret Baier, nice guy. But I've told every newscaster, don't use the word mastermind. Because what's happening is ISIS is better at the internet than we are. And they're convincing these kids, young kids, their early years. They're in their formidable, I mean, they're young. And they see it. And you have Bret Baier talking about masterminds. I thought, you know what? I was so proud of myself. Because frankly, 2 days ago, almost everybody stopped. But then tonight, Bret, who I like, is talking about mastermind. The mastermind is still on the loose. You know what the word mastermind? That's somebody that people look up to, a mastermind. They're not a mastermind. I call the guy that was the mastermind, who's now dead, I call him the guy, I really do. I just say, he's the guy with the dirty hat. He was a dirty, rotten, no-good son of a bitch, and we shouldn't... Not a mastermind. He's not a mastermind. And you know, freedom of the press is all fine. But when our press, and they use different terms, and they want to build these people up because maybe it's good for ratings, but they can't use terms like that to describe this scum that we have to eradicate. We have to get rid of these people. These people are killing the world. Are killing the world. They're blowing up planes. They're blowing up, and indiscriminately. People go, young women, wonderful, she's married, she's pregnant, she loves her husband, she's at this deal. Her husband's in the back of the room, gone, just blown away like nothing. Just like nothing. We can't let it happen anymore. We have to be strong. We have to be smart. We have to be fair. We have to be fair to all sides. And it's tough. You know, if you're Muslim, I know so many, they're so great, they're such good people. But we have to be smart because it's coming from this area. I mean, there's something going on. There's some nastiness, there's some meanness there. There's something going on in the mosques and other places. And we have to at least say, there's a problem so we can solve it. We can't close our eyes. I don't know what's wrong with Obama. He wants to close his eyes and pretend it's not happening. Why is he so emphatic on not solving the problem? There's something we don't know about. There's something we don't know about. So we have to go out, and again, the greatest source for this is our local police. And the really greatest source is all of you, because you have all those eyes, and you see what's happening. People move into a house a block down the road. You know who's going in. You can see, and you report them to the local police. You know, it's too complicated. Call federal government. Who do we call? It's a big bureaucratic mess. Nobody knows what they're doing. Okay? But you people, and me, and everybody, you know when somebody moves to an apartment near you or to a house near you. You're pretty smart, right? We know if there's something going. Report them. Most likely you'll be wrong, and that's okay. But let the local police go in and check out. And you'll get rid of this stuff. That's the best way. Everybody's their own cop in a way. I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it. So it's changed a lot in the last week. It's changed really a lot. And what's happened is I was talking about trade, and I was talking about Obamacare, which we will repeal and replace. And we will. Easy. Easy. We're going to do it. And I'm talking about the vets, which I love. I love our vets, so we're going to take care of our vets. We're going to take care of our vets, right? Look at that guy. Come here. Look at that guy. Beautiful. We're going to take care of our vets. Thank you, man. Our vets are treated worse than a lot of the illegal immigrants that come into this country. I'll tell you right now. Our greatest people are the wounded warriors. These are people, the bravery and the courage, and I see them all the time, and I love them. The bravery and the courage of the wounded warriors is beyond anything that I've seen. They lose their legs, their arms, they lose so much. They lose everything. And they have more guts than all of us. I mean, and we don't take proper care of them. We don't take proper care. And one of the reasons I said take the oil, and I didn't say just hit the oil. I said hit the oil and then keep it. You know the old story? In the old days, with armies and countries, to the victor belong the spoils, right? To the victor. Okay. Now, Iraq, a bunch of thieves are running Iraq. They're the ones that created ISIS because they wouldn't let everybody in. It wasn't inclusive. They had all sorts of factions. You have ISIS, and we can take care of ISIS. We can take, if we have the right thinking. I'll tell you what, if we have the right thinking. We don't have the right thinking. You know, Assad's a bad guy, right? Assad's a bad guy. But we're backing rebels who may be worse than him. In fact, a lot of people say the rebels are worse than Assad. So we're backing rebels. So Assad is fighting ISIS. We got to fight ISIS. When they cut the head off James Foley, when they drowned people in cages, in steel cages, and then I hear, the other day I was asked by George Stephanopoulos, what do you think of waterboarding? Oh, and I took heat from the press. Headline, Trump likes waterboarding. They don't say the whole thing. Trump likes. So what do we think about waterboarding? And I said, hey, look, they cut people's heads off. They drown people. Waterboarding is just fine. And it works, too. Don't kid yourself. It worked. It worked. And the next day, I got killed. But I never change. If I just say what I want. You know what? If it's not good enough, if I'm not going to vote, they're not going to vote for me because I said things that are a little bit like, oh, a little bit too tough. What's tough? What's tough? When they're chopping the heads off our people and other people, when they chop the heads off Christians, they chop them off because they're Christians. And then they say to me, what do you think about waterboarding? I say, I think it's fine. I like it. I like it. We would not have gotten Osama bin Laden, according to what I hear, without waterboarding. That's how we got the information. Waterboarding. Okay? We wouldn't have gotten him. Speaking of Osama bin Laden, because we have to, when you vote for somebody, you got to vote for vision, right? So I said bomb the oil. Now they're bombing the oil. I said take the oil. They won't do that because they're too stupid. They have no business ability. Okay? They won't take it. You know what they'll do? They'll bomb it. They'll bomb it like hell. The Exxons of the world, they'll get in. They'll fix it up fast. And then the country will take it over. Some country that hasn't even been formed yet will take it over. We won't get anything out of it. We won't get it. Because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. But vision, very important. So I said, don't go into Iraq, I told you. I said, and I've been saying this for a long time, don't go into Iraq. I said it, I'm the only one running that said it. I don't know, maybe Rand Paul, but he has no chance, okay? He has no. Because he wants to just walk away and let everybody, you know, he's too, I am the most militaristic person on the stage, but you have to know who to attack and when, okay? But I'm the one that said don't do it. Then I said, okay, I'm right about that. Got to keep it, got to keep it. Now we're going to keep it. I hope we're going to. All of a sudden, boom, Paris, and they're bombing the hell out of the oil. Remember about a year ago when they went to all the generals, what do you think? Mr. Trump said, bomb the oil. Isn't that ridiculous, General? Yes, so that wouldn't work. Some general, I have an IQ that's about 3 times his, and I got to listen to this guy. He said that wouldn't work, okay? In the meantime, they have the Paris situation, and now they bomb the oil. Okay. But in my book, The America We Deserve, I said, Osama bin Laden, got to watch him, bad guy, because I watch this stuff. You know, I'm like a guy with vision. Hey, I had an uncle, Dr. John Trump, professor at MIT, like this real guy. My father, smart. My mother, we're smart people. You're smart people. We know what we're doing. We're really smart, all of us. We're smart. In my book, before the World Trade Center came down, I said, Osama bin Laden. I said, you better take him out. He's going to be trouble. So the other day on one of the shows, the top guy, Joe Scarborough, good guy, he said, whoa, you mean Trump predicted Osama bin Laden? Yeah, in 2000, before the Trade Center came down, like 18 months. In 2000, around that time. In my book, it says, Osama bin Laden. You got to take him out. Because I saw he was making trouble. He had a big mouth. And he's talking, we're going to do damage. We're going to do damage. Not that I know, but I watch. And I see. And I wrote, and Joe said, whoa, you got to be kidding. He predicted Osama bin Laden. He had it before anybody even knew who the hell he was. That's in the book. He said, let me see the book. He looks at it. There's a date before the World Trade Center. He goes, whoa, that's what it's about. It's about vision, folks. It's about vision. If we took him out, we'd have two beautiful buildings standing there instead of one okay building, all right? We'd have two beautiful buildings standing there right now. We should have taken him out. The other thing I predicted is terrorism. A friend of mine called, who's very political. He said, forget that. You're the first guy that really predicted terrorism. I said in that same book. I said, this is what's going to, because I can feel it. My father always used to say, and again, this is only because we need this in the position, but my father was a tough cookie. But he always used to say, everything he touches turns to gold. And he's got a great sense of location and business and things. And he didn't understand it, but he said he's got this. Now, it's true. What we have to do is we have to put that to work. When we get out, we have to get out and vote. We have to get out and vote. We can't let what happened last time, where a lot of people like you didn't get out and vote. And, you know, I made a pledge, and I said, I am going to do my damnedest because we have to turn our country around. I could do other things right now. I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy. I'm up here. I'm soaking wet. It's 100 degrees. It's hot in here. I could be doing other things right now that would be very nice. I actually love the people in this room. I love the people. I love it. You know, a friend of mine who's a very, very nasty guy but rich, he said to me, I actually don't like him very much, to be honest, but he considers himself a friend. Yeah, that's what happens. I don't like him. He's a bad guy, but that's okay. But he said, how do you make a speech in front of so many people? Do you practice? How do you do it? Because he said, I wouldn't be able to sleep for a month if I had to speak in front of all these people. And I said, you know what? It's easy because there's so much love in every room I go to. You know, we have rooms. It's true. It's true. It's true. We have rooms, no matter where I go, arenas, no matter where. We go to Dallas. It's the same thing. It's like this. There's so much love. It's really easy to understand. People want to take our country back. We want our country to be great again. That's the theme, make America great again. We love our country. We know it can be done. We know it can be done. And there's tremendous love in every room. And it's easy to do this for me. I mean, it's easy. And I don't come up with the speeches, and I don't come up and read a speech. I just don't. There's such, and every night it's different. There's such love in the rooms. And they love you. These people in different parts of the country, Oklahoma, 20,000 people, they love you. We're all the same. We're all the same. We don't want this to happen to our country any longer. Remember, and this is so true, the American dream is dead, but I'm going to make it bigger and better and stronger than it ever has been before. And we are going to make America great again. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Love you.